Hello students, welcome to Mock IE's Gate Academy. I am Vignesh. The topic we are going to see today is electrostatics. Let's go into the topic. So electrostatics. In electrostatics, first you have to note that electrostatics is one of the important part of your examination. Okay, where it will fetch you around 3 to 4 questions, which is also relatively easier to learn. Okay, because you can take effort like mathematical formulae. Okay, you can treat this subject like a mathematical formulas, and you should learn the formulas effectively, and you should also learn your SI units effectively. Okay, let's get into the topic. So first one is electric charge. Okay, so the electric charge is nothing but a property of matter. Okay, it's a property of matter. It's a property of matter. Okay, so it will create both electrical and magnetic effect. Okay, it will create both electrical and magnetic effect. Okay, so the next thing you have to take care in electric charges, there will be two kinds of electric charges. One is positive charge and another one is negative charge, right? One is positive and another one is negative. These two kind of charges, okay, the property which differentiate these two kind of charges known as polarity of charge. So it is an important term which you have to know. What do you mean by polarity of charge means? So in case of a theoretical question, this one will be good chance. Okay, so term, okay, rather than theoretical, for in terms of terms, okay, you have to know certain terms, right? Polarity of charges or one such term. So SI unit is coulomb or ampere per second, from which you can derive the dimensional formula as ampere and time. Okay, next we are going to see properties of charges. Okay, the first property is like charges repel each other. Sorry, that is positive charges, two positive charges repel each other, two negative charges repel each other, whereas unlike charges, that is positive and a negative charge will attract each other. Okay, so similar to energy, charge is transferable one. Okay, it will transfer, it can be transferred from one body to other body, and it is can also be conserved. Okay, it is similar to energy, which you would have studied in your lower classes, right? Then the important part of charges is, okay, how it reacts at various states. Okay, so charged particle at rest, okay, that is at rest. Okay, so which based on which this whole chapter electrostatic we deal with. Okay, so at rest it produces only electric field. Okay, so that's why it got its name electrostatic. Static means at rest, right? Okay, so when an electric charge undergoes an unaccelerated motion, unaccelerated means once you push, okay, it will move with a certain acceleration, right? So that is known as unaccelerated motion. Then what do you mean by accelerated motion? Continuously we supplying certain kind of energy to make it move. Okay, so that is the difference between unaccelerated motion and accelerated motion. Okay, so in case of unaccelerated motion, it also produces magnetic field. Okay, so which we study as current electricity, right? Which we will deal later. Okay, next one is accelerated motion. Okay, during accelerated motion, in addition to electric and magnetic field, it also radiates energy in the form of electromagnetic waves. Okay, so the next important property is quantization. Okay, so charge is we define it as the property of matter. Okay, so in case of quantity, how we measure means number. Okay, quantization of charge is nothing but q is equal to n. Okay, so depending upon whether it is a positive and or negative charge, q is equal to plus or minus n, where n represents number. Okay, it is nothing but 1 2 3 4. Okay, whereas e represents value of charge of an electron. Okay, value of charge of an electron, which is nothing but 1.6021 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulomb. Okay, Next topic is electrostatic force or Coulomb's law. Okay, so using Coulomb's law, we can derive electrostatic force F is equal to Q1 K Q1 Q2 by R square, where K is the Coulomb's constant. Okay, so in case of Coulomb's law, it is defined as electrostatic forces directly proportional to the product of the charges, that is charges Q1 and Q2. So their values, product of their values, and inversely proportional. This one is in direct relationship, this one is in inverse relationship, which is square of distance between them. So state, I don't know, I wish to include statements and make it a very long process and a long lecture, so I made it as simple as the equation. Okay, so as I stated earlier, I tend to teach take these chapters to be like a mathematics. Okay, so that is the easiest way in case of for competitive examinations, right? Okay, so and for every cases, whether being unlike charge or like charges, whether both being positive or both being negative, this force stays. Okay, so only thing that will vary is a direction. Okay, we will see about in a detail when you see force using in vector notation, right? Okay, so how can we further deduce the value of k? Okay, so actually k value will be deduced as 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught in case of vacuum, which we will use if they don't mention any other medium. If they mention any other medium, you have to go for the formula 4 pi epsilon naught into epsilon r, so which we get from dielectric constant relation, which gives k is equal to epsilon r, which is equal to epsilon naught m by epsilon naught. Okay, so where epsilon m is the permittivity of the given material medium. So whichever medium, if it is in say water medium or a solid is placed, so permittivity of that medium, okay, divided by permittivity of vacuum. Okay, sorry. And next one, what will be the ratio? Okay, what will be the difference between when electrostatic forces is experienced in a vacuum or any other medium? Is it's simple. Okay, so it will be nothing but the constant value, that will be your epsilon r. Okay, which will of course depend on the permittivity of material medium which you use. Okay, next one. So as we studied earlier, Coulomb's law. Okay, so we are going into vector notation. Okay, in case of force exerted on a charge q2 by charge q1, charge q2 on charge q1. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, students. Let us continue. So force exerted on charge q2. So we write it as F21 because charge q2 exerts certain force on q1. So it is written as 21. Okay. Okay. Then we'll simply use the equation kq and q2 by r12. Okay, but the direction will be force exerted on charge q2 by charge q1, right? So from q1 to q2. Okay, we are traveling from q1 to q2, so that is the difference. Force is exerted on q2, so F21, whereas force is exerted by q1, so distance will your distance will start from charge q1 and it will end in charge q2. So that's why distance will be in terms of r12, whereas the force will be in terms of F21. The same applies, but in a reverse order in case of F12. Okay, so this makes the relation between F12 and F21 to be simply an affair simply an affair where the major difference between them is their directions. Okay. But the value or the force which they exert is same one or equal in magnitude. Then we are entering to next topic, principle of superposition. Principle of superposition are in another terms force due to multiple charges. Okay, how you can calculate? So we saw in vector form we calculated force due to q2 on q1 on q2. Okay, what if there is another charge q3? Okay, so then we have to simply just add everything. Okay, so charge on q1, charge on q1 due to 2, charge on q1 due to q3, so it will keep on going. So that's what vector summation of q1 by r2. Okay, 1 n. Okay, so if it is due to charge 2, n will be replaced by 2. If it due to charge 3, n will be replaced by charge 3. Okay, it is a simple concept. Questions in this case will be very much direct one. You should know it is a summation. So in case of if they give it in terms of a sentence, it will be your savior. Okay, okay students, for further update, for further references, please refer to our website, and also do subscribe our YouTube channel for recent updates, and also press the bell icon. Thank you.